Eja Suzuza. Arise for Ghana, operation of the land, forward and seek your future, development our goal, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead, able democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead, able democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity. Eja bana Victory is our land. Victory is our land. JJ is a winner. Arise for Ghana, operation of the land, forward and secure future, development our goal, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead, stable democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead, stable democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity.
Mute fee. Evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all well. I've been meaning to come live for the past how many hours now, but gosh, difficult, isn't it? If you said, the name is Fifi Asante Impari, or Kofi Asante Impari. For me, Kofi Amejo, so because I'm a Friday born, a proud Friday born actually, as well as a proud pro-African and a very, very proud Ghanaian. And a very proud Ghanaian and a very proud NDC. So it's more than double whammy on these one, yeah. Far more than double whammy on these one. I've sat on the seat of Hit Africa TV this evening or tonight. I will be here for just an hour and that's it. I will disappear again until hopefully sometimes this week. Last night, thank you. Massive thank for your support last night. Those of you who came on board to come and support, I really appreciate you. It was pretty late, but we had to do what we had to do. And then we finished thereafter. Please, if you're here, do me a favor, share, tag, tell a friend to tell a friend, and let's do this show together. Let's be very interactive. If you look at my topic tonight, I've put that the NDC is taking no prisoners. And that is exactly what the signal that is being given to us by our chairman, Johnson Esiedu Nketia, later on this afternoon, which is absolutely great. That is what we've been looking for. We have to go toe to toe with the EC, toe to toe with the NPP, and then also let Ghanaians know and let other stakeholders know what is happening. And I'm happy that we've managed to achieve this. I'm going to play a few videos, and before I do that, I'm going to touch on the summary of or the content, okay, of the entire speech, and then I'll play a few videos. As I play along, I'll also analyze those videos for us to go. So NDC had a press conference today, and to me, when I saw the notification of it this morning from Dr. Buama, yes, page. So when I saw it, I then shared it, and I looked forward to it. So it was slightly late. It was scheduled for 2 p.m. It came out around 2:45, which is absolutely fine. We're listening to it, and it was a very interesting press conference, full of juicy bits, full of nuggets, things that it's a press conference that you could get your teeth into it and then get so much out of it. So it was done by our chairman, Johnson Esiedu Nketia, and I'm going to talk about some of these important things that Ghanaians have been waiting for, some of the members have been waiting for, and these are what we've been waiting to hear from the NDC, and the NDC have really hit it right on the head. They are taking no prisoners. The NDC are taking no prisoners. No bagawaya. They're not messing about. They mean business. Going into 2024 election, the NDC mean business. Please, whilst you were here, also like it for me. Please, the like button. Please, if you could like the video for me, I will appreciate it. The NDC is taking no prisoners at all. And please, let's keep sharing. There was a lot of things that was mentioned in that press conference. So many juicy bits, and I loved it. Some of statements like, we the NDC will not tolerate election violence again. Statement like, Jin Mensa is a different version at the IEA, and there is Jin Mensa, different version of Jin Mensa as a chairperson of the Electoral Commission. You know, and then statement like, we the NDC will take power and there will be no peace, there will be no violence. The NDC have said they will take power and there will be no violence. Why? Because they are telling the NPP, if you want to go down that line, we are telling you we will take power off you. Having said that, there will be no violence, because if you dare try, you know, so these are some of the statements that has come out this afternoon, and I love it. Also, you trust the NPP at your own risk. Set course, trusting the NPP, you trusting the NPP, then you trust the NPP at your own risk. In other words, the NDC is not going to trust the NPP at their own risk. And there are also calls like the NPP, in an attempt to hold power, the NDC called for urgent replacement of voters' ID for the flood victims as well of the voter, for the voter region and the Savannah areas who were affected by the Volta River Authority flood. So these are some of the things that has come up. Let's listen to him. Whilst we're doing that, I'll be able to get into some of the GSOB and then analyze it, talk through. These are some of the thoughts we've been sitting not on the fences, but we've been shouting on our rooftop some of these things that we should make a stand for them to know that we are not going to take it, we're not going to tolerate it. And I'm happy that it has definitely come to pass this afternoon. So my video is in 4 segments, so please bear with me. My video is in 4 segments, so I'm going to do it segment by segment. Before I start the 4 segments of video, I'm going to be very snap, very, very quick. Then Benjamin Asibe, is it? Yeah, Asibe is also here. Ben, thank you for last night. Thank for your support. Ben love it when I go into P. So after everything, I will summarize the P version as well, as quick as possible. Okay, I will do that as quick as possible. So thanks Mansa, thanks Benjamin Asibe and Tema Edikote. Thanks all of you for being here this time. Latif Rati, thank you for being here. Jennifer Adoge, thank you for also being here. Please tag a friend to tag a friend and share if you can. Thank you. So I'm going straight into my videos now. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Good afternoon, our dearly beloved Ghanaians. We wish all of you a blessed New Year 2024. From all indications and deducing from the uninspiring 2024 budget statement and economic policy prepared by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Ken Ofurata, we are convinced 2024 will be a difficult year, filled with economic hardships. This is because the MPP government has once again, in their final year, piled more taxes on businesses and Ghanaians. Having pushed 850,000 Ghanaians into the poverty bracket in 2022 alone due to the mismanagement of the economy and uncontrolled corruption, one would have expected the government to have given suffering Ghanaians some reprieve, at least in its final year. Unfortunately, there is no joy because Ghanaians are suffering. The economy is bankrupt and Ghana has defaulted on its debt obligations. Prices of commodities have skyrocketed. The cocoa sector has virtually collapsed. And pensioners have been tortured with some sent to their early graves through the crude and painful financial haircuts meted out to many families. Ladies and gentlemen, on one hand, even though 2024 will be a difficult year, filled with economic hardship because of the mismanagement of economy, on the other hand, 2024 also brings hope. Hope because the non-performing government is on its way out of office. Again, 2024 brings hope because on December 7th, you will have the singular opportunity to vote for the experienced and visionary flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, as the next president of the Republic of Ghana. He is the man who handed over to this government the following: 3 active oil producing and revenue generating fields. He took over only one from President Atamils at that time. And at the time of handing over, there were 3 active oil producing and revenue generating fields. Robust streams of revenue, including the energy sector levy. Strong economic buffers, including sinking fund and stabilization fund. Strong economic growth poles. We handed over the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund and an impressive credit and economic rating of a B+. Sadly, on January 7, 2025, the incompetent government of Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia will be handing over an economy on the verge of collapse to Mahama. We know Mahama will fix it. I urge you to vote massively and convincingly from John Dramani Mahama, because he is the man with the vision, the experience,
My apologies. I've just unmuted myself. So our chairman, Johnson Etiedun Ketia, started the whole conversation, giving the background and giving what was actually given or handed over to the MPP when they took over in 2016. So he gave an account of what was given to the MPP, that all they should have done was to build on it. But instead of building on it, what have we seen? They've rather destroyed even what was handed to them and further gone down further worse. So he spoke about the 3 oil fields that when the NDC took over, we only had 1 oil field. John Dramani Mahama, in his own wisdom, created 2 extra oil fields, which were bringing in revenue for the country. He also spoke about other levies, like the energy recovery levy, the sinking fund, you name it. All these were buffers that were in place to safeguard the economy and to make sure that there is enough money to go about with regards to government. Having said that, all these have been misused and abused. He also touched on the kind of economic rating that was even handed to the NPP in 2016. That time, the NDC was so disciplined. They've come out from, they were within IMF, and they were so disciplined that they've created all these buffers, and they handed over a B rating economic, a B rating economy kind of, or economic rating to the NPP, which is now being reduced to junk status by them because everything is being blown out of the place. And then he went on talking about our flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, the reason why he should be voted for. So that is how he started it, and then he built it up from there. So let's go back and listen to him.
The empathy to restore Ghana's economy to good health and to create well-paying jobs for all Ghanaians, including the youth. Creating opportunities for all is one of the key reasons we are determined to win this election in order to implement the 24-hour economic policy. Ladies and gentlemen, every evidence and indicator shows the NDC will win the 2024 elections. Beyond the polls published by pollsters, our series of internal research consistently points to a one-third victory for John Dramani Mahama with a convincing working majority in Parliament. However, we are not complacent because polls alone do not confer victory on the political party in elections. Moreover, it's been said that those who vote decide nothing, but those who count the votes decide everything. We are conscious of the fact that our opponents who control the state machinery do not believe in fairness at all.
And I like this part, that those who vote do not have control over the counting of the vote or the result of the vote, but rather is the EC, and it's the opponent who control the state machinery in terms of all the forces and what have you, and have the EC in their pocket. And the games that they've been trying to play, we've said this several times, and I'm happy. It seems like everything that we've spoken and we've talked about, the NDC has made noise. They have made noise. That is what it seems like. The NDC, what I mean by the NDC is the top hierarchy have really listened to us. They have really listened to us, and I'm super pleased with this. Super pleased, because they are telling the EC, they are telling the incumbent government, they are telling the other stakeholders and state apparatus, those forces that do the right thing, do not try to play games for any government, because government comes and government goes. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. That is all. The whole message is an echo of every sector, every department, every ministry. Do the right thing. Do the right thing coming 2024, because all the polls are suggesting NDC is going to win the election. I'll do less talking and then do a lot more playing.
That is why we are assuring Ghanaians that we will not rest. We will not tire, and we will not falter. We will not relent until every vote is cast, every vote is counted, and every vote is made to count by the Jimensa-led Electoral Commission. We will not rest until we ensure every single Ghanaian is protected.
Last night when I did my live, we spoke about these. I touched on the assurances from John Mahama's speech that is given to Ghanaians that our votes will be looked after, it will be protected. And the chairman of the NDC, Johnson Esedin Ketia, have also made the same statement and emphasized it to the fact that they will not rest. They're not going to be complacent. Their eyes are open on the day. They will look after every single vote to make sure every vote is counted, every ballot box is protected, every Ghanaian is actually safeguarded. So whoever sits anywhere thinking that 2024, they are going to go in and do their own thing, they have to be careful. They will turn the country upside down. They will turn that country upside down because many Ghanaians are angry. We all saw what happened last night at the Independence Square about the convention. Ghanaians are angry. I will speak about convention tomorrow. Possibly, I'm arranging to bring somebody on who is got different views. We will talk about that tomorrow. So let's carry on. Thank you.
The dastardly murder of 8 Ghanaians to make Akufo-Addo president in 2020 must not be repeated in 2024. The blood of the murdered 8 shall remain a stain on the Akufo-Addo Bawumia's second term record forever. Instead of President Akufo-Addo demanding congratulations from President John Dramani Mahama, as we are picking from the media, we suggest that he must listen to his predecessor when he says he's the only person who has a predecessor who will become his successor. When President Mahama says the use of thugs and rogue elements within the security agencies,
Akufo-Addo is making history and he's breaking all records. Okay, well, as soon as John Mahama becomes a successor, he then becomes a predecessor who has now become a successor. He's breaking all records, and he's breaking all records for a bad reasons. All records for the bad reasons. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that very interesting? Very interesting. Breaking all records for the bad reason. That tells you how bad this NPP is. Absolutely bad. They are a bad story. They are nightmare. If you write this NPP story in a children's book, when it's read to children at night, they're not going to go to bed. They will have nightmares. Johnson Esedin Ketia went on and spoke about the 8 killed during the 2020 election. We woke up yesterday or a day before yesterday and we saw the media saying that, oh, President Akufo-Addo is making a statement that his predecessor still haven't congratulated him. Why should he? When you've murdered your way into position, you've rigged elections, you have printing press companies who have printed more ballot papers than what is supposed to be. And all these people are walking around. Police have investigated it. They have the evidence. How many years now? 3 years. Nobody is being called to account. Absolutely bollocks. And what you think about, you go to bed and you think about, Akufo-Addo is such a spoiled child. He's a spoiled child to the point that he's now a spoiled man. He grew up having the privileges of everything. He grew up with no boundaries. He grew up that nothing was said to him. He never heard the word stop in his ears, I believe. Hence, he thinks he can have his way up to today. Very vindictive as well. What a person have Ghanaians choose. When Akufo-Addo's own friend was crying to Ghanaians and say, I can't go to bed at night. If I'm thinking of you Ghanaians handling this country too, somebody like my friend Akufo-Addo, I can't sleep at night. We thought it was a joke. That is where we are. That is our predicament.
To disrupt elections in some parts of the country as occurred in 2020 elections, leading to the loss of 8 lives, will forever be remembered as Ghana's day of infamy. Unquote. Nana Addo must also take a cue from Mr. Mahama when he adds that it is unconscionable that 3 years after these tragic events, our President Nana Akufo-Addo has not uttered even a word of sympathy to the bereaved families. Ladies and gentlemen, Nana Akufo-Addo should rather be implementing the recommendations of the Commission of Inquiry, which he himself set up, that interrogated the actors and victims of the Ayawaso West Wogon by-election violence, and not be worried over congratulations from a flag bearer. We will not congratulate anybody who murders Ghanaians to secure power. We will not. Similarly, he must not only be apologizing to the people of Central Kofi, Akpafu, Likwe, and Lolobi for disenfranchising them in 2020, but also he must be ensuring their representation in Parliament is restored. Let me assure you, fellow Ghanaians, as we commemorate 31 years of the 1992 Constitution that restored Ghana to democratic governance, that the next NDC government shall deliver justice to all victims of this government's misrule. And we mean it. We shall go after the perpetrators who murdered the 8 Ghanaians during the 2020 elections, even if they murder more in 2024. We shall find the perpetrators. They can run, but they cannot hide. And we shall punish the perpetrators.
That is a very serious statement. It's a big statement. Very big statement, that the NDC is not only assuring Ghanaians, but they are assuring the bereaved family of those who were killed in 2020 election, those 8 murdered. They will go after those perpetrators who are at large, because who have been shielded by this NPP. They will go, the NDC will go after them. And Chairman Etienne Nketia went and said, they can run, but they cannot hide. Where are you going to hide to? When we put a warrant on your head, it doesn't matter where you live. And we put a warrant that you've committed murder, you will be brought back here to Ghana. for judgment, for you to face the court. So these are very strong assurances. Look, the NDC means nice this time. They're not going to play any balls with any political party, because the NDC knows that they only have one shot to prove the people of Ghana right. One shot. That is winning 2024, taking over 2025, January 7th, and then running that country effectively, corruption-free, making sure the respect and the desires of Ghanaians are met by the NDC next administration. Is their priority. That is their priority as we speak. So they're not ready. They know if they miss that chance, first of all, fingers will be pointed at them by the NDC, by the NPP, pardon me. Secondly, Ghanaians will never trust them again. And the saying that goes, the NDC and the NPP are the same, will remain. And as soon as that happens, it will pave way for the third force, effective third force. This morning, we woke up and realized, or yesterday, that Caesar is saying he is the man behind the mask. So he's got political ambition. He's got money. As soon as the NDC misses it, they got one last bullet. And they have to make sure that bullet brings the meat back to the country. So they're not going to play games. They're not going to play balls. They're not going to be Mr. Nice Man. No, they're going to be ruthless. And I'm happy they're sounding the warning now. So you guys know what is coming. They're coming after you, NPP. They're really coming after you, and they will get you. Every single one of you. If you are in position today, if you are in power today, and you think you can go about and do all sort of rubbish things, wait. Accountability is waiting for you, because the NPP will not rule forever. That is the message. That is the message. You can run, but you can hide. Thank you. Let's carry on.
When we win power on December 7th this year. Ladies and gentlemen, as happens during every election year, we expect our offices to be inundated with invitations to participate in events and activities to promote peaceful elections. While we appreciate the efforts of such religious leaders, traditional authorities, and civil society organizations, NDC believes that the way to solve a problem is to deal with its root causes. We urge them to add their collective voices to our call to state institutions involved in the conduct of the 2024 elections to approach their duties with professionalism, fairness, and honesty. The officials serving in these institutions, i.e., the security, judiciary, and the electoral commission, must constantly be reminded of their oaths of office, which impose on them onerous responsibility.
Chairman Johnson has said, was sound the warning. Chairman Johnson has said, sound the warning. No, be a there. From a Kufuado to the entire NPP apparatus, to all the forces, the military, the police, to the EC, every department. Now, what he's done is he's now entered into those sitting on the fences, those peace council, Christian council, a Jeben council. I don't want to use any French word here. I can make lebu on basa. In penny for bonny, bad old men and women, bad leaders. You sit down and oversee stupidity, and you don't utter a word. And then you go around the back speaking to the NDC. Oh, promoting peace. What about the aggressor? What about the aggressor? Because if I'm sitting here and somebody is being aggressive towards me and I'm responding, and you tell me, no, Fee, don't respond. You chill. What about the aggressor? Obiajen a warning. Mr. Sedun Ketia or Chairman Sedun Ketia is telling you guys, if you have any talking to do, you might as well start it now. Start your talking now. Go out there and begin to do your talking now. Begin to sound your warning and your alarm now. And yes, sir, Omani Ba, Yin Yatim. They are better to a pumbim. There will be no escape route for anybody. That is what he's sounding. The NDC is taking no prisoners once again. Let's continue.
Abilities to secure and protect the interests and not any other interest, the interests of Mother Ghana. That is what the oath they swore to take the office imposed on them. Nana Akufo-Addo must be reminded of his presidential oath and his oath of allegiance on the 7th of January 2017 and the repetition on 2021, which imposed on him specific duties and responsibilities to ensure that Ghana remains peaceful and in one piece. He must be called out to abandon his partisan commitment, which he has expressed publicly, that he will do whatever is in his power during the remaining term in office to hand over power to an MPP successor. He wants to choose his successor and not the people of Ghana in whom the sovereignty of Ghana resides.
Yesterday on my live video, I spoke about autocracy, dictatorship, tyranny. Was this president think I can do what I want? I'm choosing my successor and imposing on who? Ghana people too. You guys, you dare not. They shouldn't try it. But I know it's just a gimmick. It's a gimmick. Because when the push comes to shove, a British will say, when the push comes to shove, they will mellow. They will mellow. So it's a gimmick. All it's just a stance. All those are just, I believe it's just mere talk. He's won and he's won. He's been warning. It's just mere talk. He can't choose his successor. It's not going to happen. I'm going to skip this video and move to my next one. So let me bring the next one on.
Activities geared towards peaceful elections, signing of memoranda and all that. The time is now. This is the time to call out the people, the actual perpetrators who will create disruptions to our peace, to put in the right structures to ensure there is peace. We don't control the army. We don't control the police. We don't control any arm of the security services. And we don't control the arbiter of the elections with the Electoral Commission. So the moral society must rise up and support us with their collective voices Now that there is more time for us to correct what is wrong, so that we can have a peaceful 2020 election. They shouldn't wait till October, November, when they know that what has been orchestrated cannot be corrected because of lack of time, to now be appealing to us to condone the wrongdoing and to accept what the oppressor is imposing on us. NDC is tired of being the victims of peace. We must all be the beneficiaries of peace, not the victims. So if you are all interested in peace,
we must all be the beneficiary of peace, not the victims, because the NDC is tired, according to Chairman Johnson Asiedu Nketia. And these are very significant statements, well selected to echo home. To echo home. Okwasia, ono say, maybe you two me for na mentige. He's telling you, don't wait till the time. Start your work now. Let's carry on.
Let everybody play their role to ensure that there will be peaceful elections. But when somebody is holding a knife at our throats, and say, you keep quiet, the pain will go very soon. You will feel no pain. You are telling us that very soon that we will feel no pain will be after we are dead. We will feel no pain. Tell the oppressor to remove the knife, and we all have peace in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, this government knows its uncountable and unconscionable actions and inactions, including corruption, flagrant human rights abuses, and more. Therefore, they are preparing to hang onto power at all costs in order to escape justice. There is no way they can escape justice. They are behaving like people who are riding a tiger. If you get down, the tiger will devour you. If you stay on the back of the tiger, you die of hunger. So they don't know what to do. But we are saying that if you are an MPP government and you haven't done any wrong to the nation or the people of Ghana, you have nothing to fear under an NDC government. But if you have abused the power and mandate entrusted in you, you must account for your actions, and you will account for your actions. Preparing your handing over notes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's now turn our attention to the immediate past district level elections. Already,
sound, yeah, back. As we turn, or as he's turning his attention to the elections that happened not long ago with regards to the local elections, he gave a signal of what that indicated the interest of the people, because although those elections, parties don't, it's illegal for any political party to interfere or be able to support it. But individuals within community know where people's interest, political interest lies. So they voted accordingly. And from that local election, it shows that the NDC won so many seats. Why am I saying the NDC? Because people that represent the NDC party were voted in, and the NPP, people representing the NPP party were voted out on that basis. And the important statement that was made there, that the NPP is behaving like somebody riding a tiger. Because if you try to jump at the back of that tiger is going to eat him or her alive. Having said that, if he stays at the back of that tiger, he's going to die of hunger. So they don't know what to do. But he assured the NPP and told them, look, if you have done no wrong, if you haven't been involved in any corrupt activities, if you haven't stolen from the state or the republic, then there is no way that you should be afraid, or you have no reason to be afraid of an NDC government in our next NDC administration. These are very, very simple, very, very simple. Now, I just want to move to where he brought in the EC, spoke about the EC, that the bad practices of the EC and the EC chairperson. I just want us to move into that. Then I will bring this broadcast to a close, really. Quickly, let me either.
We are all aware of the many unanswered questions about the integrity of the voters' register. The discontinuation of the use of indelible ink in Ghana's elections at this stage will open the floodgates for nefarious activities that will compromise the integrity of our elections. This problem is exacerbated by the many unanswered questions about the integrity of the voters' register. One wonders how and why the EC arrived at this decision, knowing very well that BVDs fail. And the reality is that BDCs, that is the biometric verification devices, do fail. There is no technology in the world that can ensure 100% performance of biometric verification devices. So if you are planning with this knowledge, you must know that there must be countermeasures to deal with cases where the BVD fails. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ghanaians, the NDC strongly opposes the removal of indelible ink because it visibly, transparently, and physically verifies voters in addition to biometric verification. Indelible ink marks and identifies voters in order to discourage and prevent them from engaging in multiple voting, particularly when there is.
Okay, so let me quickly touch, because I just want to roll on this. Chairman spoke about the indelible ink, which has been the EC's decision not to use it in 2024 election. They tried that in the local elections, and we also some twins who went to polling stations. We saw a video of it. The sister went, voted, and when this one went, the system, which is the facial recognition system, is not able to pick the other twin up, and what have you. Having said that, is, to me, it's a drill that was done by the EC, instigated by the NPP, to try and see and find out how they will be able to beat the systems to rig the election 2024. And all of us have called and we've said in the past that this is a wrong idea. The NDC should not agree to this. And I'm happy that today, Chairman Johnson Ketua has made it very, very clear and bold enough, highlighted it that the NDC is against it. The NDC will go back to IPAC, which is the Inter-Party Advisory Committee, which is the IPAC. They will go back into IPAC and they're going to iron some of these things out. Although the press conference, I know these people will be watching it closely. The EC will be listening very closely and watching it closely. So it's sending the message home to them already that we are playing no balls with you guys. You might as well behave yourself. You might as well make sure that you get your act together and behave as grown-ups and stop pleasing the spoiled child who have turned out to be the spoiled man. So I'm happy. Johnson Ketia, Chairman Johnson Ketia, is hitting on some of these things. He also even went on and he spoke about overprinting of ballot papers, which previously happened illegally by some of the printing press. And also he spoke about the pink sheet, which is the collation sheet. The collation sheet is what we call it, the pink sheet. That some of these collation sheet, sometimes the EC even give some of these sheets to our opponent, the NPP, before. So these collation sheets should be marked as a security document, and then should be sealed so that we can track and monitor it, same as ballot papers. And we're going to have trackers. NDC is not playing ball. They're going to have trackers. They can monitor it. People are going to be down there. And so many volunteers who are willing to do this work to ensure that we bring the victory home in 2024 or coming 2024 December. The NDC is having no sleep. And that reminds me of Faithful. Is it Faithless? His name is I Can't Get No Sleep. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Faithless. A Stratham-born, proper Londoner, great music. I Can't Get No Sleep. Insomnia, the title of that music is. And that is what the NDC reminds me of. And that day of the victory, or 2 days before victory, I think I'll be playing that song, I Can't Get No Sleep. Let's carry on, people.
Why do away with this multi-layered, tried and tested verification system that adds additional credibility to Ghana's electoral process? Why? Whose interest is being served? Have we, as Ghanaians, said that we will not pay for the indelible ink? States. The EC must not make life easy for criminals to exploit our electoral process. Moreover, without indelible ink, a pliant EC official can allow a voter to vote whether or not the person is on the register at a particular polling station. And truth be told, there may be certain conducts that may be committed by temporary staff of the Electoral Commission. They are not permanent staff of the Electoral Commission, but they are recruited among us. But at times we will blame the Electoral Commission for what they have done when there is no directive from the center to do so. So it is in the interest of the Electoral Commission and the participating parties that such people must be watched and must be prevented in engaging criminal conduct that will create conflict between the Electoral Commission and the participating political parties in the elections. me reiterate that so long as manual verification is allowed and so long as the integrity of the voters' register remains questionable, so must indelible ink be applied to voters. And we must not forget that in the district level elections, some electoral officers were caught interfering in the voting process. Our friends in the media, are you not the people who reported this to us? Disenfranchising and inconveniencing some voters. We hope this was not a deliberate attempt at voter suppression. Whatever the reason was, we must work together to avoid any shortages of electoral material on December 7, 2024. Let us keep in mind.
Okay, so finally he touched on with regards to making sure that electoral materials, which recently on the local elections, not enough was sent out to various polling stations, which resulted in people not being able to vote and what have you. He sounded a warning that the EC should ensure this does not happen. He also spoke about the EC's, I won't say advice, but the EC's proposal, actually. Their proposal to end election at 3 p.m. The NDC saying, no, we're not having it. We're having none of that. The NDC, as I've said several times, they're not ready to play ball with the EC nor these MPP collaborators behind the EC who wants to do everything possible. Because how could we start voting at 7 or 6 and the papers don't even get there? Electoral materials don't get there. So if they deliver electoral materials at 12, by 3 o'clock, that's it. It will bring mayhem. And they can do that by sending electoral materials to the NPP stronghold early and then sending electoral materials to the NDC stronghold, late. So these are some of the waters that the EC and the MPP have been testing. And I'm super happy the NDC have come out to tell them, look, just don't try these things. These places are no-go areas. We will not allow you to do it today. We will not allow you to do it tomorrow. We will not allow you to do it so far as the NDC is still a political party in Ghana. And that is a statement. It's a statement. Memini Jimensa and Can You Marry, when I go to bed, everything that is being said in this press conference, I'll play over and over and over, and then I'll say nothing to Ekufuado, but rather have a meeting with my people and say, look, you know what, on that day, let's go and do our job as we've been obligated by the people of Ghana, nice, gently, perfectly, and leave the scene and go. Because Jean Mensa should not be afraid of the NDC-led government if she's done no wrong. These people should not be afraid, the general said. He spoke about the people of SAR, which is Santrokofi, is it Akpachi or else, and then Lolovi, and yeah, which now they've divided them into North Guam and South Guam. Now they're not SAL anymore. I think they've done in North Guam and South Guam. He said these people have to make sure they have representatives in parliament. shouldn't happen. The NDC is serious, Miniano. NDC omania break sinjata. And they see any brain soldier, say any brain soldier, and Kabemu say NDC, they see omanino, and then it is a choir a jadem. And if the NPP and the EC knows better, then they should watch the face of Johnson Nesiedun Ketia, the chairman himself, or the power, Ashen Semua, or Suja, no true warning, no true challenge, now all there. Let them put a foot wrong. So no mania breno, ombe rinipa, to say jata, achene prayer all. NTA, for young
And we shall never let go the fact that some printing houses, the Electoral Commission engaged to print the ballot papers in 2020, were discovered to have printed at least 1 million extra ballot papers. Some were discovered at the premises of the printing houses. Others were discovered on the field. And the police led the exercise of retrieving those on the field and supervised their destruction. Which other evidence is required for the prosecution of the actors in the printing houses and the people who were physically caught doing this? So, CSOs, leadership of faith-based organizations, traditional authorities, if a criminal is rewarded, how do you prevent crime?
Now 1 second. Chairman Johnson Nesiedun Ketia, I say, we're making very emphatic statement, very important statement. Before I talk them, what Chairman said in 2020 elections, printing presses via easy contract you almost say tap ballot papers in my a do baby crown broso illegally because Niamube Kabiano is agreed by all the political parties. Say na muta, say necessary so in case of say obi kotone say and say niamano. But moma kwa could tap. A chile no mafetra could tap by 1 million SS. And nubi and the ball on Mokron. And the evidence were there, they were collected. Bessie and Ghana police, Dan Paris, some investigation in the These printing presses are still in business with the EC. And he asked the question, said, when a criminal is caught and we reward criminals, no message, yes, send it to them. These printing presses, at this time, they are funding all these printing presses. These printing presses, at this time, the owners of these printing presses should be in court. Some of them should be in prison. The supervisors, people who oversaw and supervised this, some of them should be in prison. But they're walking around free. Still, that's easier some on contract. They see a Ghana for a BNR break. A binoma decided say set printing presses. Some more have a show move now. Almost be jacked to a printing press owner. You're careful. You're very careful. You're very careful. Because my Bogana for bro. For 4 years. 2020 to 2023, 2024 now. election and not win the insurance so they are break Ghana for the affliction that Ghanaians have gone through, the pain. Some people have gone to their early grave because of this NPP government. Okasa no more show. Uputu post that no more show. There is a scandal that I will still do that scandal that I was going to do during the festive period about the Ghana High Commission in UK. As soon as I put a post out there, they start looking for me, calling me for what? Dodgy or whatever his name is, looking for me for what? I'm just waiting because I'm gathering more documents. I've been promised they will bring more. And more staff now Ghana Commission, Ghana High Commission, the way you are treating them, no more handed documents, and called me and gave me the rundown. So that scandal is from your staff. So you sit down and negotiate a better deals with them. And we are comfortable to me for very, very dirty people. And I kid man I say a better formal this coming election. A better formal. You've bitten more than you can chew this time round. You have.
So we still have enough time for the criminals to be identified and dealt with, so that it will give assurance to the good citizens to realize that it pays to be a good citizen. And that is the surest way of ensuring that there is peace in this country. And we can reduce the incidence of electoral violence. It is not the other way around. Where criminals who are involved in using violence and thuggery to compromise our elections are rewarded with political positions and appointments. Everybody will want to be a criminal so that they can enjoy the rewards of being a criminal. The criminal case of this wrongful printing of 1 million extra ballot papers is still in the hands of the police for over 3 years. And to add insult to injuries, the Electoral Commission continues to use the services of such printing firms. What are we encouraging? Criminal conduct. Now we turn our attention to insecurity and intimidation of voters.
As General turned his attention to insecurity and intimidation of voters, I will also turn my attention to ending tonight's broadcast, and we will carry on tomorrow. There's a last part, juicy part that we need to deal with, and we will add that to Freedom Caesar, the man behind Mask, and then we'll also touch on the convention, how this spoiled child have disgraced Ghana, and then how to some people is all that convention was all about talk, and it doesn't bring any substance, which I totally disagree. Why? Because I personally have a belief that Africans or the young Africans have been put in a position that They've lost their confidence, they've lost their way out, and it will take a lot of talking to get that mindset back, to get their confidence back, to be able to take them away from the place that they've been put by these leaders, and then be able to set them free. Because if their mind is not free, if there's a limitation on that mind, as the saying goes, you can only grow as big as your mind. So if your mind is small, if you have a small or poverty mentality or poverty mindset, there's absolutely no way you can be rich. Because the limitation starts here. The limitation starts here. It's the thinking. It's the battle of the minds. That is the difference between the rich and poor. It's the difference between the successful countries and the third world. It's the battle of the mind. Somebody will say, oh no, it's not all about the battle of the mind. How come we were colonized and we were that? They too were colonized. They were colonized. If you go and read their history, they've been colonized, they've been caught as slaves, they've been ruled by people. Romans alone ruled Britain for 400 years. Then the Vikings, then the Northern Conqueror. If you go through, and even they had what is called the Spanish Armada, which by then Britain faced them on the sea and fought them, and they won that war. So they've never had it that easy as well. And we've never had it easy as well. But what they've done is they've risen above what they went through. And we haven't. We've been held as prisoners. And we've been held as prisoners by our own thinking, by our own leaders. Ekufuor knows that last night, that convention will set a lot of young Ghanaians free after listening, or young Africans free. That's not what they want. They want you to always feel like that small. It's like an abusive man. They don't want you to encourage you, for you to have confidence and go out there and make things happen. They always want you to feel small. So when you're small and you're down there, they can keep abusing you. Look, thank you, family, for joining me. There's so much that we can talk about. There's so much that we will deal with from now to coming election 2024, which is December. We need support. We need massive support. We need you guys to share it. We need to do the local content, the other dialects. There's a lot of planning going on. At the same time, with all this, we have our personal lives as well. So it's not that easy. It's not that easy. But it's doable. So we will do it. God bless you all. God bless Ghana. God bless the NDC. And God bless John Dramani Mahama. And hopefully tomorrow, sometimes in the evening, we will try and finish off the entire speech. Good night and God bless.
Yeah, Suzuza. Arise for Ghana, oppression of the land, forward and seek your future, development our God, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead. our strength in unity. From vision to vision, the NDC shall lead. Stable democracy, Ghana, our strength in unity. Ejo bana Victory is our land. Victory is our land. JJ is a winner. Ghana, of the trust of the land, when and secure future, people love our God, of the